The top rope to your collection. This collecting the 1, 2, 3 presented by Cardboard Dugout. I am your host, Moon 3PO, and this is my tag team partner with our now back to Wednesdays recording, Bro Pio. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just another day in paradise. How you doing, my dog?
I am doing well. Well, caught a little bit of some AEW. Wasn't watching too much of it. Just saw clips of it right now. Got some content coming out here, working out some things here on my end, just because July is going to be a busy month full of wrestling. There's so much wrestling that's coming. Obviously, we have our event that we're attending to our hometown. We got Evolution. We got All In. We got Saturday night's main event. There's a lot happening. So this episode here is going to be a little bit of a recap of Night of Champions. Night of Champions obviously was this past Saturday. Obviously, it's been consumed and soaked in a little bit. So we'll talk a little bit about it. There's not really too much to write home about it. Obviously, we'll give our thoughts on the card. You know, I will tip my cap out to you. You beat me on the predictions. So I will tip my cap out to you. I owe you something. I know we didn't disclose it here. Maybe I owe you a pack. I owe you some cards. I'll think of something that I owe you. We'll think about that moving forward as we get on the pod, as we preview more PLEs. But yeah, I think you nailed almost every one, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think you nailed
except for the Jacob and Solo match.
Except for the Jacob.
That's the only one.
That was the only one that kind
Although
of
we did kind of call it, like how we were like, yeah, Jacob probably only lose if we have to go back and listen, but I think we said that he would only lose if like there was like interferences from all these guys, and sure enough, we got the return of the infamous most best wrestler in the world, Tonga Loa. So.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that GOAT Tonga Loa and the debut of the other Tonga. But yeah, again, tip my cap out to you. You basically nailed there all your predictions. So again, we'll talk a little bit about Night of Champions. We'll talk a little bit about Smackdown as well. Obviously, we have a newly crowned U.S. champ, that being Giulia, which there's really not too much to write home about. Kind of went the way that I thought it would go. Then obviously this past Monday was Raw, so we'll talk a little bit about Raw as well. Some key takeaways. Looks like they're planting some seeds of a new faction member being possibly coming in our way. So of course we'll talk about all that, and then we'll just talk about some normal hobby stuff. There's been some big news in the hobby. Obviously we'll talk a little bit more about Topps Now, because there's a lot of them out there right now. There's some cool ones. There's some dudders, some missed opportunities. So we'll talk about Topps Now. There is some big Panini news that's not involving WWE. We'll talk about that a little bit, and obviously we are. If you guys have been following the socials, been following me, or been following this wrestling card Twitter in general, or Instagram in general, you guys would know that there's been a lot of sneak peeks of Cactus Jack. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we wrap up the episode. But let's head to SmackDown. Again, not too much to write home about before we get to Night of Champions there. But Giulia, now your newly crowned U.S. Women's Champ, went the way that I thought it would. I was watching SmackDown at work. Shout out to the interwebs there on how I was able to watch Netflix, but did watch SmackDown on Netflix for the first time, which I would highly recommend. If you know how to figure it out, would highly recommend. The difference of watching Raw and SmackDown on Netflix when you're outside of the US is absolutely, I don't want to say it's insane, but it's definitely a better experience. So I highly recommend it there. But was able to catch SmackDown on Netflix there, so I did watch it live. I know you caught the replay, but Giulia, now your newly crowned U.S. Women's Champ. I was talking about it on Twitter and talking with some other peers of mine. I was saying here, I wouldn't be surprised if Giulia, because she's been on the main roster for about a month now, if you include her main roster debuted on Raw, but will it be crazy to say if she kind of goes on this Gunther-esque run where, you know, she's undefeated for so long? And granted, there's not a lot of women right now in the women's division when it comes to the mid-card title. The main event scene is highly stacked. But when it comes to the mid-card, there's really not like a challenging foe right now where it's going to be a quick drop. Obviously, we've seen some quick drops with Jey Uso, who did Jacob Fatu. So we see some quick drops here and there. That's about 70-ish days. But I wouldn't be surprised if Giulia goes on this Gunther-esque run where it's 300, 400 plus day reign, just because I feel like, one, it's a star in the women's division. She's going to be for a long time. And two, again, I feel like there's not a woman in that mid-card title scene right now that's a capable foe for Giulia.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not even that. I think like Giulia alone is probably just going to elevate that title status as well. If you look at the way like they're doing the IC title over there on Raw with between Becky and the whole spiel with Lyra and Bailey, like you really haven't had that on SmackDown. We got Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega like 10,000 times, and I think even Chelsea said that she got kind of bored of like not necessarily fighting with Zelina, but like there was nothing more to that story. Um, so thank God that that title reign is is over. But no disrespect to Selena Vega, I'm sure she's a lovely person, but that title reign was just not it. Um, but yeah, like you said, Julia could go on that big run, and I'm gonna I'm agreeing with you. There's really nobody on that mid level type on the SmackDown level because like I think you got like Michin, B-Fab. Who else is on SmackDown that's like in that mid card tier? I can't even think of anybody else, honestly. Those are like the two that come into my mind. Like Zelina, you can't run it back with probably with Zelina. So I think they need like I don't know where they're going with Charlotte, Asuka. I mean Asuka, Charlotte, and Alexa. I don't know what they're doing with that. But like if you see Julia like come, eye to eye with one of those, kind of pull from what they're doing on Raw, that could kind of set forth what they're gonna do. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, finally, I'm glad that they gave the belt to Julia, which she actually has a top nows card. So if you want to um, document the moment. Go grab yourself a Topps Now card. No autos though. It's just a base card. So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool card.
I was gonna buy one, but I was like, oh man, no autos, like no like U.S. Women's Champ inscription. Like to me, the inscriptions are what make the Topps Now. I love the inscriptions that they put. Obviously, there's one that we'll talk about a little bit later, but the fact they didn't have like a first women's champ inscription, something like that, I think would have been cool. But you guys know I love Julia. Julia is one of my favorites right now on the main roster. So obviously be keep an eye out her server cards as well. I know there's that listing that we were talking about where we're trying to get some. I had some her stardom booster cards as well. So yeah, obviously as more stuff comes back with Cactus Jack too, we don't know what this new set's gonna be. Obviously she has her first base chrome card, if you want to call it, in Cactus Jack, so which kind of goes for I think around like $90 to $100, and then her ringside from Panini Select is going for anywhere from like $30 to $50. I know it's kind of raised a little bit obviously with the newly crowned U.S. reign. But yeah, there wasn't really too much to home to write about SmackDown. Obviously it was a build up to Night of Champions. The tag team match did end in a draw, which we also called as well. So we tip our caps out to that. Good overall match. The Wyatts definitely looked better. It ended the way that we thought it would, in absolute chaos. I know SmackDown was pre-taped, and I think Uncle Howdy, spoiler alert, actually, you listened to this on Friday. So yeah, spoiler alert, I believe I saw some snippets that Uncle Howdy got in the ring. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. He got in the ring, right? He got physical, like match.
For this upcoming Friday?
Yeah, it was pre-taped.
This upcoming Friday? Oh, I haven't even seen anything.
No, oops, spoiler alert. I didn't see that. I don't know who he wrestled.
I mean,
I didn't.
That's good because I mean I think he was the one that was rumored to be injured, and we hadn't seen him do anything besides do the two Sister Abigail's on Nathan Frazier, and I think last Friday was on who did he do it on? I can't even remember.
Axiom, I think, right?
I don't know. Anyways, I can't remember. But yeah, if he's actually in a match, then this Friday, hopefully, that's a good sign saying that he's good to go.
And, yeah, it was pre-taped. I just saw
thank
like
God
a clip of him.
SmackDown's back to 2 hours this Friday, so thank the Lord. I don't know. Sometimes those Friday ones, I don't know what it is. Like I sat through many 3 hour Raws, and sometimes I never felt the 3 hours, but I don't know what it was about SmackDown. Maybe just because it's Friday and it's just like, man, this last hour is dragging. But
some of them are good. Some of them were good. Some of them were bad. Like there were some episodes that were like 3 hours, or like, dude, like they filled that up. Like that was quality SmackDown-esque. I think it was obviously like with a lot of the CM Punk stuff that we saw with John Cena. But even before that, it was kind of like that. Well, third hour was just.
My biggest gripe with that third hour was a lot of the times they were using that extra time to like build up on Raw feuds. I'm like, dude, I don't want to like you shouldn't be using that third hour to build up Raw feuds or like playing what happened on Raw. Like I don't care. You should be using it to like give it to the talent and stuff like that. So that was my biggest gripe about it. But so obviously we're gonna get the 2 hour SmackDown, obviously with some dark matches. So usually the way I always like to think that they see it is like they always like so like in my head the Wyatt Six are gonna be like wrestling on this upcoming Friday. So usually I always they're like, okay, they skip a week with promos, and then they fight again. So hopefully that means the Wyatts will be in our town. I know I think they confirmed that John Cena is confirmed for that next SmackDown. So, anyways, we could probably get into that next pod when we do that. But yeah, Uncle Howdy in the ring this Friday. I'm all for it.
Yep. So when you're listening to this on Friday, do know Uncle Howdy is in the ring. If I'm wrong, then you did not hear that from me. Again, it was a clip that I saw. He was wearing suspenders. He was kind of wearing like Fiend-esque like attire, and he did take off his coat. He was in the ring, so I can only assume that he got physical. So he did have a match there. But yeah, again, nothing too much to write home about SmackDown. Again, it was the go home episode to Night of Champions, which that obviously wouldn't make sense to cover SmackDown, obviously, because it led up to Night of Champions. But let's talk Night of Champions. Again, I like to do my ratings on Dropkick just because I like to like rate it there. I gave Night of Champions, not including results, this overall card itself, overall matches itself, quality of the pay-per-view, quality of the stage. Shout out to the stage, man. That was so refreshing to see a well-built, executed stage where they felt like they put some effort into it, not this. And I get it. I understand they want to sell tickets. I get it 100%. But man, it felt so good to see it like a actually worthy stage.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not TKO or WWE building. That's the Saudi money talking, brother.
So shout out to the Saudis, man. They've been getting a lot of credit.
I'm gonna leave it at that, dude. I don't know. I thought the crowd kind of sucked this Night of Champions. They're kind of quiet.
Really?
The only one that I feel like the only one they were really out for is CM Punk and Cena. But like other than that, I feel like they were like even on SmackDown they sounded kind of bored. But I don't know. I feel like they were kind of like meh. Like they weren't that loud. But maybe that was just me.
Really. I thought that was. Yeah. I think this was the best Saudi crowd. If I'm being honest with you.
What? Oh God.
Yeah.
Maybe I was listening to it, right?
I don't know. That's what I was saying. Right? I was like, hey man, shout out to the Saudis because they were kind of like, and maybe it was a CM Punk stuff, but I feel like they kind of showed up a little bit. You know, singing the Randy Orton's theme song. That was a very loud whoa for Cody. Obviously, you know they have their reception to the women. I think this time around, obviously, minus from 2 superstars, which I mean, that's you know you can make your assumption for that. You can put 2 to 2 together on that. The women got some pops. Rhea got a good pop. Raquel put on a good performance as well. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about those matches, but yeah, I thought the Saudi crowd was the best one out of the past, you know, however long they've been in Saudi. But I gave this again, this match alone, quality of the card, things of that nature, put that all together. I gave it 3.5 stars. Again, a lot of my outcomes wasn't there, but I gave it 3.5. That's just generally how I felt about the card itself and the outcomes, and like okay, I guess this makes sense. This makes sense. Good match here, maybe a dud or there. But what would be the rating scale? I guess I know you like to do letter grades. I like to just do the drop kick just because I see 3.5. I'm like, I get a 3.5. Maybe think I'm like Dave Meltzer, but a little bit smarter and educated more. But what's your grade
Davey
score there?
Yeah, I think a 3.5 sounds about right. So that's like what I would maybe like what a B minus maybe in a
B minus
grade scale. Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Like they had good matches. It was entertaining. Obviously the picks went how I thought they were gonna go -1, and then the one that didn't go our way, the way they did it was in a way that you can make it believable to where you can see how it happened, and kind of dragging out this never-ending bloodline storyline. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I enjoyed it. We finally got our Cody Randy anticipated match. I'm pretty sure they're not done. This was obviously the last. So I think when Triple H did the post press conference, he said this is the last time that Cena and Punk were gonna fight solo. So like, leaving it up to speculation that they could be involved like in a triple threat, Fatal 4, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Obviously we had the Sammy and Karrion Kross, which erupted in the internet because people obviously wanted Karrion Kross, which I am a big Karrion Kross fan. I PC Karrion Kross. And I know so did you as well. So I know I talked about how like I would love to see him win, but I don't know. I don't see it. It just I don't know. It's how it goes. All right, it's dragging out the storyline even more. Rhea, Raquel, that was a good street fight. Enjoyed that one. Jade and Asuka, that one was a little funky. Like you could tell they didn't mesh well. I don't know if you caught that too.
Yeah.
Like there was some, and I wasn't a fan of the finish. I didn't like the whole like Asuka got out of her moves like 3 times, and then like she just hit her with one, and that was it. And she kind of messed up the pin a little bit. Like she kind of went back too much. But I don't know. I think I, we could talk about it more in a little bit, but yeah, I don't know where you want to start at. I don't know unless you want to start with Jade and Asuka.
Yeah, no, we can start off there. Yeah, I know I had Asuka winning. Obviously, I would have loved to have seen the Asuka and Io Sky SummerSlam, but obviously that's not going to happen. Or I mean, there's still the opportunity where it could happen, because they are doing Io and Rhea early. They're doing it at Evolution, which I thought they would have done it on SmackDown. I mean, on SummerSlam, but they're doing it at Evolution. So maybe there is still that opportunity if Io Sky was to come out as the successor on that match. But of course, we'll talk about Evolution when we get closer to that, which honestly, we're closer than I'm saying it now. It's like a week ahead or like 2 week and a half at this point. So I say as we get closer, but we're literally like 2 weeks away from that. But yeah, it wasn't Jade's best performance. I think we've seen that from her singles matches. Like I don't want to say she's overrated. I don't want to say that, because she's obviously still very young. I always think she's still very raw, because you really got to think about it with Jade. Like she hasn't really had like a true singles run. She debuted, had her little run-ins here and there, then got the tag team with Bianca, which obviously that could protect her because you're not really a singles competitor. Then was out with an injury, came back, had her match with Naomi at WrestleMania. Even that wasn't that good. Had the Fatal 4-Way match, that was fine. Had the Roxanne Perez match on Raw, that was okay. So she really hasn't had like, I don't want to say 5-star match, but like she really hasn't had a match that has wowed me. And then obviously with AEW, she was really on a Goldberg-esque where she just squashed people. And obviously WWE saw that, because when she debuted, they're like, hey, like you're not as good as we maybe thought you were, or like there's some things that we got to tink that fit our WWE mode, which they do have. But I mean, I think there's a reason why Blake Monroe, I'm sorry, is being automatically thrown into, matches, because she's seasoned. She's there. She's that. But I think Jade is just missing it. Does she have the aura? Does she have all the capability of doing it? Yes. But I don't think it's there yet for me with Jade. I don't know what it is. I don't think I'm the only one with that thought, but
Yeah,
to me, it just doesn't click.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone. I don't think you're alone with that. Because I think I didn't really watch much of her stuff in AEW, but I think from what I would see, like it just was a bunch of like squash matches, right? If I'm not mistaken, and they gave her the TBS title, and then she kind of ran with it until she finally lost it. So I think it was like Chris Stratlander, I think is her name. I think when I last looked it up, I can't remember. That, yeah. You have to fact check me on that. My AEW peeps, let me know. But then, yeah, I remember when she signed with WWE, I think he said, like, they kind of saw her and they're like, hey, you're not as polished as maybe we want you to be. And so, obviously, that's why I think even when they signed her, like, she was gone for, like, she didn't debut for so long. And she obviously skipped over NXT and she debuted at the Rumble. And I don't know what it is. Like, she has, like you said, she has the look, she has the theme music, she has the presence, she has the aura, but it's just, I don't know what it with some of these like more veteran wrestlers that she gets in the ring with, like it's just, I don't know, it's like a swing and a miss, honestly. And so I think that's probably why they maybe paired her up with Asuka, because Asuka's, been in the wrestling business for for quite a while now. She's a vet. And obviously she's coming back from her year-long injury, but like to be in the ring with Asuka, like they look like they didn't mesh well. And I just don't know if maybe it's their style, maybe, because to me Jade's like a pounding ground. Like she uses her power as compared to like people like like Roxanne Perez. Like she's quick and fast and stuff like that. And same thing for Asuka. We can make the same argument for that. And she's like a quick striker and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I think I probably out of all the matches, that was probably my least favorite out of all of them, out of the whole card. So now with this, obviously Jade's going to get her title shot at SummerSlam, which I'm assuming it's going to be Tiffany Stratton. So let's see where, because I don't think they're still building they're still building to Evolution. So Tiffany doesn't have anything planned for. And so let's see what they I know for sure they're not gonna leave Tiffany off this card. So yeah. So now we got Jade and Tiffany at SummerSlam. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. We saw how stiff the match was with Charlotte, and Charlotte's a good wrestler, so I don't know how she's gonna mesh with Jade. So that's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see.
I actually did see who again, spoilers, but I think I did see who Tiffany is fighting at Evolution. If you
who?
I guess I'll tell this here and then I'll bleep it out post edit. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit. Okay. I did see her. I did see that on TikTok. I saw her came out on. I did see her come out on SmackDown. I did see that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know she was gonna do that. Okay. All right. It's a good one.
Bleep. I could be wrong. I didn't see. I saw her coming out, and then they had a promo face to face. So I would believe that they and this going on X right now. Damn, she's still got it. Woo, 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 woo. Let's see here. Let's see. Fucking yeah, see here. Yeah, this is a quote that said, "I'm ready to get in there." I don't know if that's a real quote or not. I don't know. But yeah, I saw they had a promo and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me that they would do something like that. Kind of protect her a little bit. Don't got really too much to do. And she doesn't really have a true feud. That's not Nia Jax. She hasn't really had a feud. That's not Nia or involved with Charlotte. These Nia matches have been freaking brutal or killing me. Even though the one on SmackDown was a good one. I will give Nia credit. A lot better in the ring the last her return, but that was actually a solid street fight. But yeah,
she always again Nia in general. She always surprises me. Every time I see her get announced, one of the matches that's happened, every time I'm like, God, again they do this, and then the match ends up happening. I'm like, that was pretty solid. I actually enjoyed that. So,
yeah, I was the same way. I was like, oh my
Jax.
God. I was like, another Nia match with Tiffany. Are we really doing this again? And it was actually a pretty solid street fight. But yeah, Women's King of the Ring didn't really do it for me. So we'll see how it goes moving forward with Jade Cargill and obviously going to be Tiffany at SummerSlam. But since we're on the Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring, let's stick here with the men's King of the Ring, that being Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Very solid match. I thought it was probably one of their better performances here and one of the better performances on the card itself. I know we caught a replay because obviously we were at a card show when these matches were happening, and we caught the replay, and it was interesting. And it looked like Cody had a little bit more of an aggressor side to him. And I know they've been talking about it. There's been some quotes. He's been doing some podcast interviews about a potential heel turn. And maybe this heel turn is what gets John Cena to go back to the light side. And obviously we'll talk about John Cena in a little bit when we get to the main event. But very, very interesting offense from Cody. Obviously getting the win when Randy Orton unfortunately took the hit on the uncovered the turnbuckle, and then Cody was even targeting the back a little bit. Obviously, you guys know that Randy Orton has had the history with the back injuries, so very surprising that we're getting something here like this from Cody. I know there were some teases from Randy Orton as well. Maybe we'll get that Randy heel turn once Cody does take back the championship and kind of give him back that little receipt. But yeah, very good match. Very surprising that they're teasing this more of aggressive Cody, which I mean, I want to say surprised, but obviously that's what kind of led to his loss to John Cena at WrestleMania. But I think it's finally good that we're getting this Cody. I think it's probably a good sign that maybe we'll see Cody victor against John Cena. But overall, what do you think about this Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton match?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. I think is this the first time they fought 1-on-1 since Cody's come back? I honestly can't even remember. So it's kind of crazy that it took this long for them to finally lace up the boots and fight each other. But yeah, it was solid. I did like the little the heelish. I don't want to say well, yeah, I guess you could say the heelish actions in a sense on Randy. And I do pretty much you brought up what I wanted to mention was obviously Cody taking the high road obviously lost him the WWE title to Cena. So in a sense, you don't want to he'd maybe like, hey, maybe I shouldn't always just take the high road or take my chances when I can, blah blah blah. And obviously he did, and got the win over Orton. And now this should obviously set in stone Rhodes and Cena again for the WWE title at SummerSlam. I even think I saw that Cody mentioned something that they're gonna plan to give it a better delivery or better ending this time around. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw that on Twitter. So I think he knows that that WrestleMania match was not the best. I'm gonna put it probably all the blame on The Rock on that one. So hopefully there's no Rock or there's no Travis Scott involvement in this match. Hopefully they can just leave it as is and just let these guys battle it out and promo it out and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited for this one, but let's see where this one takes us.
Yeah, I was trying to find. Yeah, I know the exact quote like you're talking about.
I think I just saw it earlier today.
Yeah, it was
I don't
today.
remember it either.
Everything right now when you look up Cody Rhodes is all about freaking Street Fighter because him and Roman Reigns are like supposed to be confirmed for Street Fighter. I forgot the quote, but yeah, he basically did like echo that. Like he knows that match wasn't. Yeah, it says, this is actually on Wrestle Talk. Cody Rhodes says that he's taking responsibility and hoping to put things right at WWE SummerSlam in his rematch against John Cena for fans who weren't satisfied with what happened in their first match at WrestleMania. So, yeah, obviously recognizing that wasn't the greatest of match. And it doesn't help that, and Cena recognizes it as well, that he is a step slower. That he's not, the John Cena that he was, years ago.
Oh yeah.
So obviously that
I think I found the
play to it.
I think I found the actual quote. I think it was on Busted Open. So he says, but yeah, SummerSlam, I don't want to go as far as making any promises, but I can tell you the goal with SummerSlam is if people felt a certain way about WrestleMania, I would put all that on my back and take all the credit and responsibility for perhaps not feeling satisfied. I like to get to them to the finish line with SummerSlam. Very much looking forward to doing this dance again. So there you go.
There you go.
Take that, Rock.
There you go. Yeah. Obviously that obviously played into it 100%. So yeah, I think that they will deliver. Gonna be interesting. I'm forgetting now too that SummerSlam is 2 nights now, and to me, I don't even feel like this card is worthy of 2 nights. I feel like there's not even enough matches to do 2 matches, and we're like almost less than a month. I think now we're actually a month away now from recording, so they have a month to get 2 nights worth of matches. Is it going to be enough? Will it be good? Time will tell. But yeah, I think that match will be totally fine. Let's then head off to I know we kind of hinted it there already. I think we kind of nailed it there basically on the Sami Zayn Karrion Kross. Don't got to put too much effort into that. But let's talk a little bit here about the street fight of Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. And kind of talk a little bit as far as the Monday Night Raw as well, because we finally did get our answer of what's going to happen with the tag team titles. Roxanne Perez is now officially a tag team champion with Raquel. So all the gold is with the Judgment Day. But damn, man, I gave WWE the script. I handed Triple H the script. Like, here you go, my friend. Take it and run away with it. Book it. And said they put Roxanne Perez in a trash can. She gets 1 hit on a kendo stick, or I think she took a hit. And after that, we never saw her again. Absolutely insane. That's the way that they booked Roxanne Perez on that. But Raquel, man, she put on a show. Probably one of her best performances, I would say. I know she gets a lot of flack for her in-ring work and her in-ring promo work, but yeah, this was a very surprising, a very good match. Again, not the outcome that I was hoping for, and definitely not the outcome if you want to be booking your newly crowned or your women's tag team champions. But and obviously we've talked about how they've booked these tag team titles. Maybe there's some urgency coming soon. But yeah, again, very solid match. Was it the outcome that I hoped for? No. Am I mad that Rhea won? No, I understand it. But yeah, I thought overall very solid match from both Rhea and Raquel.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Hopefully, I think, well, even from Monday, from what Rhea said, hopefully this is the last of the Rhea Judgment Day nonsense that they seem to always go back to. But yeah, it's interesting how they're been booking Roxanne Perez. Hopefully now with the tag team titles on her, that they'll maybe book her a little bit better or protect her a little bit more. kind of give her hopefully maybe like the Liv treatment. Not that she's at Liv's level or stuff like that, but she is a rising star and she's very popular. So I don't know. Hopefully they start booking her a little bit better. I think on Monday she said she was going to start going after Kairi Sane because that was the match where Liv got hurt. Yeah,
I heard that. I was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah. Roxy's going to be going after Kairi Sane, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a match probably maybe this upcoming Monday. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was a solid street fight between the two powerhouse women. If you really think about it. Interesting enough, there was no Slim Jim table. I don't the advertisements for these damn Saudi shows is so freaking weird that there was no Slim Jimmy table. So that was interesting.
The rumor that I've always heard is that they I don't want to say control the show, but they control like what goes on when it comes to like advertisements. Like that's why like you don't see Prime bottles there. Like they don't have the Prime stand. Obviously the ring wasn't filled with different ads. They had the little Saudi Arabia logo, but
that Riyadh one. Yeah,
I think there's something in between like their contracts and stuff like that. And again, all the money, the blood sucking money, as our guy like CM Punk likes to say, that is just flowing in Saudi. But yeah, good match. Nice table spot from the table on the top rope there. I thought that was a nice little spot as well. But yeah, again, not surprised by it. Again, I don't think you would have had Rhea Ripley lose and then next Monday comes out and challenges Io Sky. Doesn't make sense from a booking standpoint. So again, I'm not one of those marks on Twitter like, oh, Rhea Ripley, Rhea Hogan. I absolutely get it. And Rhea's a star. You're gonna have your stars in the main event. Seem like get real people. Like those people are just absolutely insane. Like I absolutely do not understand it one bit. It's just absolutely annoying, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, good match. Another good match here, or I would say solid, was Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. This one here caught me by surprise 100%. Again, get the booking if you're going to introduce a new Tongan, which he has an official name of Tala Tonga. If you're going to introduce Tongans, you're going to bring back the GOAT Tonga Loa, which, man, I feel like that dude knows he's a meme and he just lives up to it. That dude's just absolutely hilarious. So, debut of Tala Tonga. Tonga Loa coming back here. We're still missing, Tama Tonga. So we are still missing him, but you're getting your Tongan faction with JC Mateo, Tala Tonga, Tonga Loa, and now Solo Sikoa, and obviously we're missing Tama Tonga. Yeah. But can't wait for him to come back. But yeah, again, solid match. Surprising outcome. Didn't see that happening so soon. Because again, I know we kind of hinted it there. Jacob Fatu only having I think it was like a 72-day reign, if I'm not mistaken. I thought he would have been on a lengthy reign. But yeah, solid match. Surprised by the outcome, I would say. I know we both had Jacob, so I would say this outcome was a little bit shocking, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to take the belt off him that quickly because he hasn't had that many title defenses, right? If I think about it, I honestly can't even remember how many times he defended that title, but I'm gonna assume it's not that many. But yeah, I was surprised that they took it. I mean, the way they did it, it kind of in a sense protects Jacob in a sense, like, yeah, he got pinned, but look what it took. It took bringing out the whole Bloodline 2.0, if you want to call him that, crew. And yeah, see, obviously, I'm assuming this feud is going to continue on. Jacob's obviously outnumbered because right now it's 4-1, so I don't know if they're going to start bringing in Jimmy Uso back into the picture. Is Roman Reigns gonna, I don't know. Is Roman Reigns done with that, with Solo and all that? Who knows? We'll see where they go with this. Are they gonna bring Jade back into the mix? I don't know. So. It's interesting to know that they haven't announced a draft yet, right?
That is a little bit surprising, yeah.
They usually have it after WrestleMania, so I'm surprised that we're already in the summertime and they haven't announced the draft. So, but obviously that'll switch up some things. But, yeah, Solo finally got his flowers. The dude's been grinding for a while now, and obviously he had the NXT North American title for a briefly little bit, and they made him forfeit it due to him jumping on the main roster when he aligned himself with the Bloodline at Clash of Castles against that match between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Man, I remember watching that match. I was working, and I was like, "Oh my God, Drew's gonna take that off him." And obviously, well, we know how that all goes. But I mean, ever since then, like, Solo's been grinding. So for him to finally get that title that he solely deserves and has worked hard for it, it's kind of good to see him get and he was funny on the press conference too.
One word, 4 letters, stop.
I don't think his father Rikishi was too thrilled. I mean, obviously he was happy for him, but he was like, "That's not the world title." So I don't know.
You can't please
that
Rikishi, man.
Rikishi can't please him unless Jey Uso's the world heavyweight title, Jimmy Uso's the WWE champion. So give Solo the US and the IC belt. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good match.
Yeah, solid match. Again, surprised by the outcome, but yeah, like you mentioned, that you nailed it there. Solo Sikoa had a rough start to the beginning of the year, obviously dropping the Ula Fala and the head of the table in quotation marks to Roman Reigns. Wasn't really doing much after that. Obviously got incorporated to the Money in the Bank match. Obviously that led to the turn of Jacob Fatu. But yeah, it's good to see him get his flowers, like you mentioned there, get his first official singles title run on the main roster. And you can just tell he's enjoying it, he's having fun. And yeah, I think that's what makes Solo. So gonna be interesting to see where this Tongan faction goes. Maybe get them involved in the tag team that's already in the tag team division. That's already a star-studded tag team division, because obviously they did that when the Tongans came in with both Loa, Tonga, and then obviously when Jacob Fatu came as well. So be curious to see if they do the same route here with them, as they're now officially on the main roster with their Bloodline 2.0 or Tongan Bloodline, whatever you want to call it. But let's head to the main event now. Main event, CM Punk, John Cena. Again, I know we were at a card show and we both hauled ass home to watch this live. Again, as a CM Punk homer, there's no denying, was this their best in-ring match? No. They have other great matches that you can watch that are obviously tiers above this. But again, from the what's the word I'm looking for? From the nostalgia, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. From the nostalgia factor, the callbacks, the attire, CM Punk walking out in his Money in the Bank attire, coming out doing the crisscross right in the middle of the ring. I need to get that jacket, by the way. That jacket is absolutely fire. The nostalgia, the story play that came into it, we'll obviously dive deep into it a little bit more. But again, from a nostalgia factor, this match was everything to me. It fed the soul. I needed it. Again, should have happened at SummerSlam? Probably. Did it need a month's build? Probably. But is it everything that I hoped for? Yes. Was it everything that I thought was going to happen? Yes. I don't know how you feel about it. Obviously, me and you are basically like the same person. I don't know if you feel the exact same way, where, again, was it the best in-ring quality? No. But was it everything that we hoped for when it comes to them just seeing each other in the ring one more time? We didn't think this was ever going to happen. To me, that is what did it for me.
I mean, honestly, if you went into this match thinking like, oh, I want like the 10 years turn back to time, you're going to be wildly disappointed. That's not what this match was. It's like you said, it's a sense of nostalgia, and just the fact that we got to see, Punk versus Cena one last time in 2025 in WWE, like, that's pretty crazy to think. And so I hope people took it in and enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Obviously, CM Punk winning would have probably been a little bit more enjoyable. But obviously we know why, and storyline wise, booking wise, all that stuff makes sense why he didn't win. But yeah, the match was, like I said, it obviously wasn't like their best matchup, but I enjoyed it. It brought the sense of nostalgia to me, and I who doesn't love nostalgia? It's very interesting though. You're starting to see those little tides of the Cena-esque. Where he's not really like fully committing to like do anything now to kind of win the title. You obviously he showed tides of like he wanted to hit Punk with the belt, did it. And then obviously we get the interference with Seth Rollins and his crew. And even like obviously Cena FU'd. Oh, gave him the attitude adjustment. Ooh, that's nostalgia right there. That's a nostalgia move right there. But obviously, like he even like tells Seth Rollins like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" And obviously they get into it and stuff like that. So you're starting to see the shades of like hey, maybe I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's very Star Wars esque if you look at it from that standpoint, that The Rock was basically the emperor and is like, hey, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, and obviously John Cena's Anakin Skywalker, who is gonna do what it takes to save what he wants, and then obviously our Luke Skywalker is Cody Rhodes. So will Cody bring John back to the light side? We'll find out at SummerSlam, everybody. But I'm pretty sure that's what it's heading down to.
Yeah, the whole time I was watching Altino, like the light in him. The light is in him. It's there somewhere, and it's CM Punk as Obi-Wan Kenobi that can pull it out of him. And he knows it's there. He knows how to tap into it a little bit. It's almost there. It kind of reminds me from we're gonna get a little bit nerdy here, of Obi-Wan Kenobi the series, where they just dueled on that planet wherever that they're at, and then Anakin, it's as Darth Vader has the helmet already split in half, and Obi-Wan is saying like, I'm sorry, like I failed you, and Anakin tells him like, no, like you didn't fail me, like you didn't do that. And then the quick shift again where it's like, I hate you, like I'm gonna go and kill you. That was exactly what that was. The like, don't be sorry, like it was me who did it. Like that was the him helping him not hitting him with the belt. And then that quick little turn of darkness and red was him shaking his hand, hugging him, and then doing the stone cold John Cena face, and about to kick him, about to low blow him. And then obviously CM Punk being smarter than that, obviously catches it, and it's about to hit the GTS, and then obviously gets hit with the Money in the Bank. Obviously Seth Rollins, and then gets curve stomped, and obviously Cena still being the champion takes advantage of that. But yeah, the light is in there, and will it? When will it come out? Because again, I know we kept saying we're halfway through. Like we're more than halfway now. We're in July. Like it's again day of recording. We're at July 2nd. Like he's halfway through his retirement tour. I believe it's 15 dates, if I'm not mistaken. That's left, if I'm not mistaken. So we're almost there, and I don't think he's gonna end off as a heel. I think 90% of WWE knows that he's not gonna end off as a heel. I don't think you can do that with him, especially him. So I think there's this tide of how do we slowly get there? How are we going to get to that point? I don't know how they're going to get there. Again, it's heavily going to involve Cody Rhodes. I don't know how you're going to do it. It's going to be interesting to watch for the next month how we get there, but it's going to be exciting to watch. And I know you kind of mentioned in there we had the Seth Rollins run in, which shout out to Seth Rollins, by the way, in the I Did Remember music video. Shout out to shout out to Seth Rollins. That was pretty cool to see that. And it looks like now they're even collab. Yeah, that was a nice one. I forget. Not that I forget, but I know he's always been to Punk. He likes literally like the same music that we do. So I was like, I think he was a big or is he a big band fan of? I forgot. It was another band that he liked that I was it Devil Wears Prada?
I can't remember.
I don't remember, but yeah. Anyways, nice seeing Seth Rollins there in ADTR music video, and it's very funny when the Burn It Down part of the song is like, what the hell? So very, very funny. So shout out.
I wish they would have let him do his little laugh in the middle of the video.
I was hoping for too. He laughs in the video, or like he has his mouth open in the video. Like, oh man, I would have wished they let him do
his laugh,
his little laugh there. But
I had heard that also too. There's rumors that that Seth might get a new song. Maybe we'll get a nice little Day to Remember WWE collab. So that's pretty cool.
I would love that. Yeah, if the things that WWE needs right now, they need to name this damn faction. I'm tired of having no name for them. They need to name that faction. Get this Plan B member, whoever it is. I know the rumors right now have been like Ricky Starks, Ethan Page. Who knows? I don't know how that's necessarily like a big Plan B, but I would still find that fine. And then he needs a new theme song. If we're gonna have him be a bad guy, be a heel, he needs to have a new theme song. Which very refreshing. He's going to be involved with LA Knight as Saturday Night's Main Event. I think that should be for the first time ever, surprisingly, as much as those guys have been on the card, first time ever.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oof. Man, that's crazy. Also shout out to freaking Charles Robinson, Little Nate. Dude took a fucking bump.
Shout him out. He
shout out Little Nate.
He took a big ass bump there. I saw him running. I'm like, oh my god, there's the meme again.
There's the meme, yeah.
And then he fucking took a big ass bump. which is actually a perfect segue to our next topic here, which is the Topps Now, because you can buy a Charles Robinson Topps Now card. There is a Charles Robinson Topps Now card of him taking the bump, and there's
It's
a
actual
one of
bump,
one.
dude.
It's not just him running; it's him taking the actual bump. I gotta buy. I haven't bought it yet, but I need to just for the for the.
Oh,
The more I'm looking at it now, it's absolutely hilarious.
even has the
But you
inscription.
can
Ouch. Yeah.
the ouch inscription on there, which absolutely hilarious. Uh, there's also a CM Punk and John Cena, which, like we talked about here, and kind of like you hinted at there as well, that they've promoted as the final time. Which this card does say iconic rivals collide in final career clash, which there is a dual auto of CM Punk and John Cena. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe they already have dual autos with Panini. Obviously, those are sticker. These are on card. So if you're into that, you are able to get those there for $11.99 for the one card. Obviously, the more you buy, the more you save. There's also the Jade Cargill, which she has an autograph there. That's a terrible autograph, if you ask me. I'm not sure if you're looking at it, but yeah, that autograph is absolutely terrible. That's also one of one.
Yeah.
There's a solo Sikoa, one of one. Again, no United States champion description, but it's him with all his Tongans there. Then we have the debut of Tala Tonga, which does have the official rookie card badge. So if you're into the rookie card badges, you can get yourself one there. We then have the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. No autograph description on that one, but there is parallels. That's going to be $8.99. We got CM Punk, the Punk Life, which that was an absolute banger of a segment. Absolutely awesome segment. And then we have, obviously, like we talked about there, Giulia with the newly crowned 2025 Women's U.S. Champion. But I know we have our history with Topps Now. I know you made a good little Instagram post of all the Topps Now. You, my guy, you just like to buy one. You're a one and done guy. You know me. I'm a 5-card bundle guy. I would like to get my 5-card bundles, and I give away the additional on Whatnot. Which come follow me on Whatnot if you guys want a chance to get a Mystery Iguana and Logan Paul for absolutely free. We'll be giving away one of those on my next upcoming Whatnot stream, which is to be determined. But out of all of these new Topps Now cards, Bro Pio, is there any one of those where you're buying?
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna end up buying the same one, which I'm assuming is like the CM Punk Cena one. That one I do want just for I do PC both Punk and Cena, so to have them both on a card, pretty cool. And obviously it'll symbolize the final match. Definitely gotta pick up the Charles Robinson. Shout out to Little Nate, man. That homie took a bump. And then I'm actually gonna probably pick up the Giulia just because she doesn't like her WWE stock is like limited in card wise. So any little Giulia card that does come out, I do like to pick up. But yeah, those are probably be the three that I'm probably the most interested in. Um, I do want to talk about the Jade auto, but I guess we could probably wait until we get into the Cactus Jack thing because I just want to just talk about the auto in general. But yeah, I don't know if that's maybe the same card that you probably have in mind.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'll probably add in the Punk Life because that segment was absolutely just phenomenal, and it's $8.99, so there's no autograph or script. That'll probably be like a one and done type thing. Obviously, I like to buy the 5-card bundles for the other ones there, but yeah, that'll probably be like the one and doneer, which I have done in the past, but that'll probably be the one and doneer. Giulia will probably be a 5-card bundle. Charles Robinson, I don't know about that one yet. Is the having the opportunity for a parallel found that would be kind of funny. And then yeah, obviously the CM Punk and John Cena one. That's an automatic bundle for me. Potentially maybe a one, or I'm not too sure because those are $11.99. Anything with the autograph inscriptions are the $11.99s and not your typical $8.99. Which if you do the math, that can get a little bit pricey. So got to be smart with your Topps Now. So you can be a little pricey there. Yeah, can be up there a little bit.
Anytime something big happens, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. Like the damn Topps Now cards. So they be killing me over here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're into the Topps Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about it as far as of like, are they going to be valuable? Like, are they worth anything? Like, I think if you pick your moments, and I know I showed you how you can look up the print runs for these cards. Like the Logan Paul, I look like a freaking idiot. I was like, oh, this is gonna do over 50,000. We're gonna have Chrome cards. It barely cracked 4K, so I look like a freaking idiot. But I think people just don't like them for obvious reasons. Which, I mean, you can have that opinion. That's your opinion. I'm not going to say you're wrong about that. But yeah, brother cracked over 4K. So I feel like if you have a Logan Paul one, you might be sitting pretty good. Because, again, it's Logan Paul, first official rookie card, on a trading card. Like him or not, there's no denying the marketability that they have and the popularity that they have that's outside of WWE. So I don't know. So I think, yeah, if you pick and choose your moments, I mean, I think you can potentially can get maybe a valuable one down the line if the print runs low, and
Yeah, I mean,
especially if you get a parallel as well.
these Topps Now cards. If you plan on jumping on a rocket and think you're going to go to the moon with these Topps Now cards, like you need to get off the jet, buddy. It ain't like that. Um, like these cards are meant to like symbolize like certain moments in time in wrestling, and if you as a fan like that wrestler, like that moment, and want to like get something in print for that moment. And it's like going to like a show and you get like a poster or like a program, something like that. You get a matchup card or something like that. It's basically kind of what it is. So, like how we mentioned, we're big CM Punk and Cena fans. So to have a card that it memorializes their last match, and the possibility you might get a parallel or you might get an autograph. It's just that's all it is. So you just gotta just pick and choose your moments, like you said, and if you find a wrestler you like, and I mean maybe there's a big Tala Tonga. Was that his name? Tala Tonga. Maybe there's a tall fan over there somewhere. So and when you run his rookie card, there you go, buddy. Get that card. Do you? But they are nice cards. Just pick and choose.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick and choose people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like them a lot.
Don't
again,
be
they're
going
fun
and
to
spending
collect.
hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
like Mariah May did when she bought 1,000 copies of her card.
1,000 of them.
Which we need to check. We need to check that print. We need to check the print run of that card to see how many actually print. So
I think it wasn't as crazy as I thought. Again, I look like a freaking idiot. I think I said it was going to be like over 5,000. Let me see. Mariah May. Let me see. Hey, Red Sox fans, Wilshire Bray, you only got 366. I think. Actually, it doesn't have a print run. That's the card number. Nope. Let's see. WWE. Where is it at? Licenses. WWE. There we go. So let's see here. Yeah, Mariah May. So if she says she bought 1,000, she's basically more than like almost half, or a little bit less than half. That total print run of that card was 3,679. So that was a print run there for the official Mariah May, which again, that's a low print number. Again, doesn't have the rookie card badge, which I from my understanding, they don't throw the rookie card badges because she technically has cards with AEW, that being Mariah May. If I'm understanding that correctly, I believe that's been the logic, even though it still doesn't make it much logic on Panini's side, because when Jade Cargill had cards, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I only had 3,679. What other one? Logan Paul's official print run was 4,940. The Mr. Iguana one, the one that I bought, was 2,964. You bought that one as well. People showed out for the Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice. Absolutely. And you know why. 4,672. The duel of John Cena and Logan Paul, that was 6,484. I know you bought the Bray Wyatt one. Not the Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt 6 when they came and made their debut on Bray Wyatt's birthday. That was 1,164. So I mean, some of them can be low number. They really can be low in print run. So I mean, again, if you pick and choose a key moment and you get a parallel, or you get one of those crazy relics, like I know Cena had the sock from the Netflix debut. Some of them have mats. If you're insanely lucky with those, obviously those are going to be worth more than your average Joe card there. But as we're talking cards here, you hinted it there as well. We've been getting more sneak peeks of Cactus Jack. Now, there is a rumored date here. I'm not going to say the date on here just because it has one yet to be confirmed by Topps. I know who announced it. I know who made the graphic. Obviously, we had them on the pod, or had one part of him on the pod. It's just me. I'm not going to say that here. Again, is it probably the right date? Probably. But I like to announce and confirm official news. That's just me personally. So Again, I'm not going to say the date here on here. You can go back and watch the clip or go back and see when it's coming out here. Don't know how you feel about that, but that's just the way I roll about it. So again, going to wait for an official announcement once we do get Topps here. But it has been confirmed that Topps Chrome Cactus Jack is coming out within the next month, give or take. Again, take that with a grain of salt until we get an official confirmation date from Topps, in my opinion. I know I put out a TikTok about it earlier. There's been a lot of superstars signing their cards. We saw Ruka signing her cards, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday, I believe. Yes, it was Monday. Ruka posted on an Instagram story. I don't know if you saw my post earlier. Bailey had some of hers earlier. Yeah. Bailey's look cool. I love superstars who put actual effort into the signature. I know you hinted Jade there, so I'll let you.
That's technically what I was gonna bring up. I was gonna ask you because I know we kind of talk about it every now and I know it's a big thing like within all sports. Like we had the whole, if you're a baseball fan, we had the whole Jackson Merrill controversy of the way he was signing some of his cards in earlier stages as compared to now. But yeah, like I saw Ruka's auto and I was like, and then I saw Bailey's. I was like, man, those are like some really good looking signatures. And then you see the fucking squiggly that Jade wrote. I don't know if that's just a J or what the hell it is, but that was kind of going to be like my question, because like we kind of talked about it before. But like, do you take consideration like how like a superstar signs, and do you like if it's not like, let's say a good signature, like do you just not collect it in a sense, or you just don't care as long as it's a good wrestler, you know, you just get it?
So I like the effort of an auto. Obviously, yes, if you go back to the lore of Cardboard Dugout, where it was just me a solo at that time, I did talk about Jackson Merrill, and he talked about it on his, I think he did an interview with The Athletic, where he's like I don't like, he literally said, I don't like cards. It's not me. I'm going to put little effort into cards that maybe don't mean anything, but maybe like a super fractor or like a rare card, I'm going to put a little more effort into the autograph of the cards. So for me as a collector, I do like a good autograph. Like I have my CM Punk up here. Is it like the prettiest handwriting? No, but like you can tell that he puts an effort into the actual card itself. And I love that one too, because it kind of bleeds onto the card a little bit. It's not where like they leave like the little signature. So it's like little nits and crancies like that I do like as a collector myself. Even the Karrion Kross one as well. Nicely on the.
He has a good auto.
He has a good auto, and I bought one. I showed you what I bought for the Whatnot stream that's going to be coming pretty soon, where he signed it on the wrong part. So I mean, it's stuff like that I do like. But yeah, like again, if you're watching on YouTube, I have the Roman Anthony up there. Like that's a bad
horrible signature. Horrible signature.
That's bad.
That's like bad. Kind of my thing. Like I've been wanting to grab like a, obviously this is baseball talk, so wrestling fans close your ears. I've been wanting to get like a Roman Anthony auto, but I just cannot fathom like his signature is just so bad. It's like ugh.
And you can tell.
And obviously, if like you've seen some of my TikToks when I first opened up the Topps Chrome, I don't remember if it was the Mega Box that I ripped open or the Blaster. I pulled an Angelo Dawkins auto, but his signature was literally an A.D. Like that was his signature. So when I posted it, I was like, bang, we pulled an auto. And I remember somebody left a comment. They're like, yeah, A.D. is not a bang. And I'm like, hey, buddy, if you pull an auto out of a product that's where you're not guaranteed an auto, you take it. But obviously, yeah, it was not the best auto. It was just the letter A and D. And I can understand it. I mean, obviously these aren't their real names. These are obviously like their wrestling names, their stage names in a sense, if you want to do it. So obviously they have their real names, and I'm sure they have a much better signature. But I don't know. I feel like they can devote a little bit more time just to make a little bit more personalized signature. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me being picky. But hopefully that Jade, that's not her signature. Because I've honestly never seen Jade's auto in other products. I don't know if she signed in Panini or if she had any autos in Topps Chrome, honestly. So I haven't seen anything, so I don't know if that is her true, in fact, auto. But if it is, hopefully she'll add like a little inscription or something like that. Like Kevin Owens, like go look at Kevin Owens autographs and his inscriptions. Those are like the best. So
yeah, Kevin Owens is an absolute star of his stuff. I was like,
he's
I
a
would love
hobby
to
goat.
get that guy. I would love to get that guy on the pod one day. Those are the pod goals. Get Kevin Owens on the pod so he can talk his autograph and inscriptions. Kurt Angle sneezed on me once. I ate soup once. I forgot what else he put on here. Now
the bloodline's not really related.
Oh yeah, the bloodline's not really related. I'm looking at Jade Cargill now to see what. See, it doesn't make any sense. See, I don't get it. Like, this is her. Oh, let me lower the brightness. That's her. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
That's her. That's her redemption.
Well, maybe Topps just put that as as a placeholder.
But look at her. That's her Panini. So she does have like different types of signatures where she kind of has that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe since this auto is gonna be a 1-on-1, maybe she'll put a little bit more. Like, you know what I mean? So. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll send you a screenshot. You can see it because this one's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll tell her like, "Hey, Jade, it's gonna be a 1-on-1. Like, can we get a little effort on this signature?" But yeah, shout out to Sol Ruka and shout out to Bailey for an amazing, beautiful signature. I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Man, that is like, yeah, I don't know what that is." Oh, yeah, that looks exactly what they put on the Topps website. Like, see, like you see that, like, would you want to buy that? Like, I don't want to buy that, even if I was like a big Jade fan. Like, I don't know, like. It just doesn't appeal.
I wouldn't buy that.
And if I did, I want it on the low end. Like, just, ugh.
Me personally, I wouldn't buy that one. But like, I was kind of even going back to like baseball. Like, you can tell who actually puts effort. Like, obviously, this is Josh Jung. He's of course is like a hobby enthusiast. You can kind of see here like the details of like a detailed autograph, long things. Like, obviously, this is his real name, of course, but you can kind of tell the people who like kind of care about it, who want to put a little more effort into it. And I think that's what I, as a collector and like as a person who likes to collect autographs, cards, and autograph things, like I look for people who put effort into those cards. Obviously, yes, I understand they sign hundreds and thousands of these cards, which can be annoying, but I get that. But yeah, as a collector, I do myself enjoy collecting a well thoughtful autograph that's on card or sticker. It doesn't really bother me as far as the which, but as long as it's thoughtful, it's spelled out correctly, you can tell effort was put into it. That's what I'm a collector, which is why I'm so glad that CM Punk puts like effort into his autograph. Because if I was a CM Punk collector, I am a CM Punk collector. But like, if we see those
videos, we see those videos of him signing it.
That dude be signing. The dude be signing. Yeah, I gotta pick me up one of those prints on SmackDown. Hopefully, they have some there.
I don't think they will if he's not on SmackDown.
Oh shit!
Yeah, unless I don't know, they need a. You know what? This is a memo at CM Punk. He's been ducking and dodging San Antonio for I don't know how long already. He's the only reason why I went to the AEW show. Obviously, I was watching AEW now and then, but CM Punk was there. He wasn't at the AEW show. Obviously, we've had a couple of other WWE events here and there. Sporadically throughout the years, and CM Punk has yet to come back. So I think he's due. Maybe we'll get a nice little run in or something. Just a quick run in. Come on, can't do this anymore. If not,
if Seth Rollins can jump back and forth, so can he.
If he's not, and for some reason, if he gets advertised at that Super House show down in Corpus, I'm gonna drive my ass down there and watch that. So.
I knew you were gonna say that. I just knew you were gonna. I knew you were gonna say something stupid like that. I just knew you were gonna say something stupid like that. But yeah, again, Cactus Jack, we're getting more sneak peeks. I put out also TikTok here earlier that I hate that it's the same render photos for some of the superstars. Like CM Punk has the same render photo as his WrestleMania Cactus Jack set, which that was a little bit disappointing. But again, it looks like the inserts and the actual autograph of the parallels are going to be a little bit different. I believe the parallel that I saw was Astro Knights, or that's what it's going to be called. So time will tell. Again, we'll confirm and hear more once we do get more of a confirmation, checklist, autographs, things like that. So make sure you are staying tuned there to the socials and to the podcast, collecting the 123. You can follow me at Moon3PO, and obviously you can follow Bropio at Dad Who Collects. But last piece of news here before we wrap up here and get into our final thoughts. Some other major wrestling news that came out of the wrestling card hobby was Major League Wrestling and Panini America announced exclusive trading card partnership. This is coming from the official PaniniAmerica.net article. Major League Wrestling, MLW, one of the fastest growing wrestling leagues in the U.S. and Panini America, the world's largest sports and entertainment collectibles company. That's debatable. Announced today a multi-year exclusive partnership as part of the agreement. Panini becomes the official trading card, memorabilia, and collectible sticker partner. That's important there, sticker partner of MLW. The partnership begins with Panini commemorating some of the most memorable moments MLW Summer of Beast, which took place in New York City on Thursday, June 26th, by launching on its instant card platform at PaniniAmerica.net. It took me to a link there. Additionally, additional MLW products will be from Panini will be available this year. Later this year at mass retailers, including Walmart, Target, and hobby stores nationwide, as well as on Panini's website. As MLW's global presence continues to grow, partnering with Panini, the worldwide leader in collectibles, is the perfect next step, MLW founder and CEO Court Bauer said. With the world's top-ranked fighters throwing down in front of sold-out crowds, MLW is built on iconic moments. Now, thanks to Panini, fans can collect those moments and own a piece of the fight. With a roster of high-octane talent and rapidly retaining international footprint, MLW is continuing to build momentum among media and fans alike. This partnership with Panini makes the league's first entry into officially licensed trading cards and collectibles, giving fans a new way to connect with the action inside and outside the ring. We are looking forward to the two partnership with MLW as MLW continues to grow and expand internationally. We're positioned well to help them reach wrestling fans on a global basis and bring trading cards to wrestling fans, said Mark Warsop, Panini America CEO. This kid kind of came out of left field, if I'm being completely honest with you. This was not on my bingo card. Thought potentially Panini was done with the wrestling card business. Obviously, them losing the license to Topps this upcoming year. But I'm not going to sit around and act like I'm a big MLW guy. Like, oh, this is great for MLW. I love this. And I'm not going to act like that. I really don't watch too much MLW. Looking at the roster, I know we were kind of talking about it here before we actually went live with the poll. Like Matt Riddle is your world heavyweight champion, if I'm looking at this correctly. Bishop Dyer is there, which is formerly known as Baron Corbin. Kenta's there. Shotzi. I know I surprised myself here reading his name. Paul London, Bobby Fish, Brock Anderson. Who else is on here that I can recognize here? I think that was mainly it from when I'm quickly looking at it here. But obviously, you know, there are a lot of superstars that go in and out of MLW because they're part of that indie scene. But yeah, I don't know how you feel about it. Again, not really to write home about it, just because again, we're not the biggest MLW guys there, so I really can't say too much about it. But I thought it was pretty cool that we're getting another brand of wrestling to Panini. Again, I always said it before. Like, I feel like Panini did good with the WWE license. It was nothing. They did everything they could with that license. Obviously, Topps and Fanatics are taking it to a new height. But I feel like this can like start like something great with MLW. And maybe, who knows, like AEW hasn't really done much with Upper Deck hasn't really too much done with AEW. So maybe there's a sign that, hey, like something can be done in the future with these kind of guys and with this type of companies. Maybe there's a big ex-WWE superstar or a rising star that has, you know, official MLW cards. So, I mean, I think overall it's good if you're into the wrestling card hobby. I think it's good for that. And maybe this is your leeway to get into MLW. Maybe you buy a box for fun. Just maybe you buy yourself a blaster at Target, Walmart for $20, $30. And you're like, hey, like this is interesting. I kind of got to go watch this now. And, you know, you kind of figure out how to watch it. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I'll probably buy like a blaster or something, depending on what's in there, who's in there. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Nice to see Panini getting back into their wrestling card license there.
Yeah, I think it's good for like just the wrestling card hobby in general. Like, we have another, like, Panini's obviously continuing to make wrestling cards. Upper Deck has, you know, AEW and stuff like that. So it's good to have another, you know, trading card company that's making wrestling cards. Like you said, like obviously we're not well, I'm not really a fan of MLW at all. I've never really watched any of their products, to be honest with you. So, but I mean, if you were to watch, or if you are an MLW fan, now this is your chance to collect certain cards of your favorite wrestlers that are there. And who knows, maybe these superstars might go on to, you know, AEW or WWE and stuff like that and do bigger things. Not that they can't do big things in MLW, but you know what I mean. They, you know, WWE and AEW are considered the big dogs in this wrestling circle, I guess you can call it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that the MLW is the one that they partnership with, and I'm just not a shot in MLW. I'm not familiar with their product, but like obviously there's like Ring of Honor that's out there, TNA. I don't know if they have any cards, and maybe I don't know if maybe the TNA like kind of partnership with WWE maybe is the reason maybe why Panini didn't want to make TNA cards, or if TNA even wants to make cards in general. But I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, overall, I think it's just good. It's just good for the wrestling card hobby to have, you know, Panini continuing to make wrestling cards, and so yeah, I'm all for it. A lot. I do like these because sometimes a lot of these like little like lesser known products tend to have like a blaster box and you're guaranteed like an auto relic like right off the back and you don't have to like fork out like $400 right off the back for something. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye out for that. I guess once we get closer and we get actual like product information, see what comes in it. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Obviously MLW has honed in, has a lot of former big names in WWE and or outside WWE. So like curious to see how that works potentially. Obviously, I think if you're a WWE name, obviously you're not gonna have cards there, but maybe some guys outside of WWE. I know like MJF, for example, he showed up at the Summer of Beast, the MLW event that they talked about in the article. Like he debuted there. Like maybe he has MLW cards, maybe some other talent that are with AEW that are now part of or have made jumps or have been with MLW in the past do get some cards there. So yeah, definitely going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it as more sets come out. I know they only have the Panini instance, which is basically kind of like their Topps Now, cards. So we'll keep an eye out there for that as we get closer and cover it here on the pod as we get closer and get some more confirmation of these cards. But yeah, that's all we had here on this episode of Collected the 123. Again, I definitely do appreciate you guys coming in, tuning in, following in wherever you're tuning in. If you're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. For the visual guys, if you're watching on YouTube, and or women, if you do watch the pod. Thank you guys for listening and watching. But before we wrap everything up here, Bro Pio, any final thoughts here for the good old listeners of Collecting the 123?
Yeah, I don't got much. Other than this upcoming next week is when the full like wrestling marathon begins. Obviously next weekend we have AEW's All In, which I'm pretty sure we are gonna watch. I know we had talked about. I don't know, maybe you're still deciding about going. But it's off the cards for me. Just can't do it. It's not in the. It just doesn't make sense for me right now to do it. So obviously we're gonna plan to watch it. And obviously we got a Revolution. Sorry, Evolution. Revolution. What the hell is it called? Evolution, right? Jesus Christ. Evolution. And then we got the NXT Great American Bash. Oh, and then we have Saturday Night's main event with that god awful Goldberg returning. So, yeah, I'm assuming probably the next time we pod, we're gonna have a very lengthy discussion, predictions coming across the board. So, yeah, just keep tuning in. Be prepared.
Keep trucking along with us. Keep trucking along
Yeah.
with us. We got a busy month in July. Yeah, AEW All In, as far as of attending in person, is all of the cards for me as well. So I will not be in there in person, but I'm pretty sure we can plan something to watch the card, potentially watch it together. Obviously, we'll talk about that off pod. But yeah, we got All In, Great American Bash, Evolution. Obviously, like we talked about here, we got the Smackdown event that we're going to, which I'm trying to plan out some good things for an in-person vlog. So that'll be fun to plan that out, get that going. So again, make sure you are just following the pages there, following the socials. You can follow me at Moon3PO. You can follow Bro Pio here at Data Collects everywhere. That's TikTok, Instagram, X, all of our socials. Myself, his socials will be down, a link down in the podcast description. And again, if you guys haven't yet, come chat with us on Whatnot. I'm on Whatnot almost every Sunday. Haven't been there I wasn't on there last Sunday just because I was, spending time with some family. This Sunday is a little bit up in the air, just depending on inventory. I am sourcing out inventory, so make sure I'm bringing high quality inventory to you guys. I want to go on there with just with base cards, so making sure that I'm bringing as much quality as possible for you guys. All WWE and AEW singles starting at $1 with free giveaways. So feel free to come in, say hi. Don't even have to buy a card. Just come in, say hi, say what's up, say where you came from. If you came from the pod, came from YouTube, came from TikTok, wherever. We've had some people do that, and it's been very cool to see y'all flocking in and obviously flocking to the pod itself. But yeah, that's all I had on my end. Again, do appreciate y'all listening and watching.